Hey everybody, my name is Suede, and welcome back to part 5, I think, of our Iroquois game. So, as you know, last time I think we cleaned up a war with the Babylonians at the end of last part, and now we are moving on. We have the option when we want to try to take the Great Library from their capital. Should be pretty easy, honestly, with all the artillery that we have. But if you check the war screen that we just passed, they're now at war with a war with a bunch of people, so we have to make sure they stay alive. Because killing them and taking their capital would be pretty easy, but as soon as the Sumerians get their grubby little hands on it, it might be a little bit more tricky. So right now we're going to try to slow things down. So we just have to wait, right? We just have to wait until the rest of the civs enter the industrial era so that we can get techs up to the industrial era for free instead of having to tech them ourselves. So we have to wait, but in the meantime, we don't want the Babylonians to die. So that's where we're going for now. We're going to try to keep them alive. We do have the option, I guess we could switch to feudalism, I guess. I don't know. It's 6 turns in anarchy to switch to feudalism. It'd kind of be bad, I think. So yeah, we could switch to feudalism. We can't switch to republic because we don't have the tech. We'd have to, like, buy the tech or trade for the tech, and there's not really any trades that we can make. So we're kind of stuck in despotism here. And with a land like this, that actually hurts us quite a bit. So floodplains, hills, mountains, and a bunch of other tiles, and cows, for example, you all suffer from the despotism penalty. Fish. I don't have a ton of fish, but for what that's worth. If you just have like regular like river bonus grassland, it's not so bad as long as you don't irrigate the bonus grassland. You're not losing too much. But with land like this, we're actually losing quite a bit by being in despotism. But currently, we don't have a choice. Switching to feudalism is not worth the 6 turns. Okay, so our goal here is trying to like build like a box around the Babylonians to like kind of keep them safe. There's a big war happening right now. I believe it's like the Arabs, the Zulu, and the Babylonians against the Sumerians and the Celts. Weirdly, the Celts are on the other side of the war. Sending all their units all the way across the world just to come mess with the weak little civs over here. Yeah, you see the war there. Okay, so I should try to do some protection here. You're going to see me body blocking the cities. It'll give me a better idea of like how many units are being sent, and there's a pretty big stack, right? Oh, mostly Enkidu's. Weird. Okay, getting that settler is really important. I'm actually formulating the idea to go down south there. So there's iron if I get there, and that's fine. But most interestingly, there's gems. So I'm at the point where like I'm really benefiting from each additional luxury resource because of all the markets that I have. I could even like pop rush the markets if I really want. In some of these like high population cities with not much production, might be a good idea. But yeah, getting that gems will be really good. We're in despotism, we might as well take advantage of the pop rushing as needed, and we do use it quite a bit just to keep ourselves afloat. It does screw you over your cities potentially, but if you have like 8 luxuries, you can pop rush like every couple of turns, and it doesn't really make too much of a difference. The unhappiness from pop rushing will expire eventually. Okay, so it looks like they do have cavalry for Babylon. Good for them. And we have this big stack here, but we cannot use it. We do have the right of passage, so we can use these roads through their land. Okay, production's also not great because of the high... There's no golden age for us, and high corruption in the secondary cities. But like we're getting like a trickle of knights. Like I think our capital does 1 per 3, and some of the other cities are doing it per 4, per 5, per 6. Yeah, like let's see here, probably per 4, right? No, per 5, yeah. Smith's Trading Company, interesting choice, Arabs. At this point, I kind of wish the Arabs were stronger. It'd be nice to have like a stronger civ to counterbalance the Sumerians. We're really at risk of dying to runaway AI here. This is definitely a danger that we have to be watching out for as we're playing this game. The further you get, the harder it is to confront these AI directly. Like I'd say if you're like have half of a Pangea and the Cid AI has half of a Pangea, if everything is going right for you and you have like railroads and artillery, I think maybe you can take them on. But otherwise you would need allies. in any other circumstance to do that. And we're running low on allies. Our allies are dying. Eh, They weren't really our allies. In fact, we're one of the principal causes of their deaths. But potential allies are dying or have died. Okay, taking a bunch of workers down here. You notice I'm roading to Babylon just so when the time comes, I can just roll right in and take the city. That was really, really soon, so that's a shame. It doesn't impact us too much. Um, and if it gets taken by like the Sumerians or someone, we could just. Oh no, we can't retake it unless we declare war on Samaria, and that's something I'm considering right now. So I'm trying to have an impact on this war, but I can't go in direct. I've got a bunch of artillery that could fire shots, but they can't fire shots because we're not at war. And of course, like the armies, they can every once in a while they can just do their thing. Just kill units for free, basically, run away, heal up. It's just like free unit kills with armies, and we can't take advantage of that because we are not at war. So now having these non-foreign population workers is actually pretty important here. So the way this works is we want to join units to cities so we can like pop rush temples mostly so the city doesn't flip. But if we join foreign citizens, then suddenly it has a foreign citizen, and that is one of the factors that would make it flip. So the idea of what we're doing here is we're bringing over these workers. So if we join, for example, 3 workers to Ganage, if we do chain pop rushing, we can get a temple there, and that would take away, like, with no foreign citizens, that would take away like 90% of the chance of a flip in this situation. Sometimes it'll take it away entirely. Depends on the number of foreign tiles. So Ganage would get rid of most of the foreign tiles with a temple, but not all of them. Okay, have to hope that we want to plan a city where that pikeman is, so we have to hope it moves out of the way and nothing replaces it. Annoying, I know. Waiting for AI pathing is frustrating at times. Extra roads here is good. If we're fighting a war, like if this is the front line, then we might be in a position where they are like trying to pillage our roads, so it's good to have backup roads. Nothing. There's still one more civ we haven't met. Oh, there they go. Good thing we parked our massive stack of trebuchets next to the city. We can get a free declaration of war here if we just kick him out of our land, because he's probably strong to us. He's not like the strongest A on the map. Probably second strongest right now. So we have all these trebuchets, but oh no, he's got the Great Wall. So that's a shame. The way it works is it will target walls first when you bombard with artillery, but Great Wall walls cannot be destroyed, so it just means the artillery does nothing. And I wasted a bunch of shots too. That could have gone into these knights, which is a bit frustrating, but we're doing okay. We still have the armies, right? Okay, we managed to avoid a war with Sumerians. Like, there's no mutual protection pact. I raised the city. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Don't have to worry about it flipping again if we raise it. Okay, that's most of the Celtic units dealt with. Yeah, double checking there for mutual protection pacts. They don't have one. Fighting in my own, like, it's only if you fight in their land that it's an issue. In fact, by trying to retake that city, it would have triggered the mutual protection pact. So it was clear they didn't have one, or it wasn't possible that they had one. Should have checked before, but honestly, the Sumerians, either they're not in the next year or they just got there at this time. That's ridiculous. Cross the river and everything, Jesus. That's fine. It's that or he's going to attack into me. Now, I'll say one thing frustrating here is I have armies, but I do not have an army of knights. So I got a lot of really good RNGs on military great leaders, but actually recently, like super recently, I haven't had any great leaders, so I haven't been able to stock up on a knight army, which is bad because they're very good defensively, the knight armies, and not having that option might set us back. Not sure how many workers we lost, but I think he just straight disbanded them. I don't see them anywhere. I think at this point I changed the song. Yeah. Okay, so we replanted the city with no foreign citizens. Should be safer now. So if you might notice, I'm actually making a crucial mistake here, and that's that I should really be guarding Babylon, because if right now Samaria takes Babylon, that's bad news, because as far as I know, they're the only civ in the industrial era, so we're not ready to take the Great Library, so we would just be giving them a bunch of time to, finish off the rest of the civs and stock up their army again, but also defend Babylon itself, defend the city of Babylon, which would be bad. We don't want that to happen. Because we need to take Babylon to get the Great Library. We want that to still be an option. It's much easier to take it from the Babylonians, because the Sumerians eventually they're going to get rifles. Yeah, they're going to get railroads. If we don't want to use the rite of passage abuse, we will take a turn, so we'll have like a turn to reinforce, and that would let us do gross things to us. So yeah, it'd be much better if Babylon could hold here, and we should be stopping that. Like we have units on hand that could do that. At the very least, do like a little chevron around the south of the city. That way, if someone approaches from the west, we'd know. We're kind of doing that with Nineveh here. But we should probably be more worried about Babylon itself. Yeah, I think from my perspective, it seemed like Nineveh was like more about to fall. But yeah, we're actually looking pretty good here. So we'll get to the industrial era. We will rail, and then with our big coalition, we'll do like one big war where we get the Arabs in. Zulu looked like they're dying. I wasn't really paying attention to this at the time, but yeah, during all of this, the Zulu got wiped by these Sumerians. We'll get the Celts in, we'll get the Arabs in, we'll get whatever's left of the Zulu and the Babylonians in, and everybody together will fight a war against the Sumerians. And if I use rails and artillery, I can take like one city per turn. And I can just like with big stats, or like if I have a 30 stack of artillery, I can just like decimate. Like imagine they walk like a 12 stack of rifles or muskets at me. Usually it's pretty intimidating, but if you have a 30 stack of artillery, that just melts. They become 1 health units, and you clean it up with armies or cavalry or whatever. So yeah, we do have a viable path to domination victory here. It'll also cause them to, having a war like that will cause them to collapse into fascism, and then they start rushing production. They'll spend like 3 or 4 citizens pop rushing a rifleman in like a size 8 city, and the city just becomes garbage. And that's exactly what we want them to do. Might as well grab the courthouse. I don't think we're going to be staying Republic or in despotism for too long. We'd like to switch to Republic before it gets too late. We just have to wait for 2 of them to have nationalism or whatever. Okay, again, more regular workers. It's good to have this road through the Babylonian land. Some of that got pillaged. We should rebuild it so we have more mobility between our like 2 fronts. Like we're trying to secure these gems here and maybe push into Xochicalco, although pushing over the mountains is awkward. It's just not very easy for us to push across the Sumerians here. But also we want to push on to Babylon when the time comes. Some of this jungle is finally getting cleaned out. This is a corrupt government, so we're not going to do much there. But once we switch into republic or eventually be communism, we will have that option of using those cities to the full effect. And we just weren't paying attention. They got us. That's really annoying. Okay, Babylonians have lost the city of Ashur there. And is that all cavalry north of LAP? Spooky stuff. Yeah, no MGL. That's annoying. I think we do have heroic epic too. So crazy we got such good MGL RNG at the start of the game, but now we're just getting trash. Oh, he's pushing in there too. Don't know what kind of that battle was. The wonders of having show LAI battles off, but whatever. Okay, we can get a peace deal. We got what we wanted out of them. We got the city back, the Babylonian city that flipped, so we're fine. Weirdly, the Americans just have a ton of money here. That's good. We're going to give them enough year to get in the next era. Hopefully that has some benefit later on. Yeah, notice I'm still blocking the choke around Dulling Zagad. That's just like a good habit if you have the boat around. Fuck with the AI pathing just a little. Especially during wars if they're trying to boat you. Okay, now, at this point I should really be paying... I don't know if it's too late, but I should really be paying attention to this. How many cavalry are in that stack? Okay, yeah, I think... Yeah, I see what happened. So I caught it, but I shouldn't have even let it to get into this position. So I can't... Or at this point, I should have... I guess I could have attacked into the calves, but then they would have just killed my knights. I was hoping they'd get out of my way, and if they path towards the north of the city, then I can close the south and then also close the north. That's the idea, I guess, here. No clue what those longbows are doing. But, disaster, the city of Babylon has fallen. So this is an important moment. Think about, pause the video if you want. What should I do right now? The city of Babylon, it's an Arabic settler. That might come back and bite me in the ass, but whatever. That's annoying. Do I actually have a settler on the front line that can settle those gems? If not, that's like kind of just straight up infuriating. Okay, so if you've paused the video and you've wondered what I should do, nothing. Just do nothing. That's what I should do right now. Just do nothing. Don't take the city, because we don't know for a fact. Let them defend the city. Fuck it. We don't know for a fact what techs are had. We can get techs in the industrial era using the Great Elevator strategy, where we take the Great Library, but the Arabs have just entered the industrial era. So it's like, this would get us into the industrial era, but we don't know what industrial era techs we'd get in, and possibly it would just be none of them. So right now we're cleaning this up while we wait for our cavalry to bombard the city, to take it down. We did make a peace with the... So we did make peace with the Celts, so we are only fighting a one-front war right now. If we really wanted to, we could get the Celts involved. It's going okay. We do have a lot of trebuchets, and you'll see these trebuchets are helping us out. But we've just straight up run out of units. Yeah, we could have taken the city back right now. Although, again, it's not something we should be doing. But it was an option we had. And we got all these calves down here. We have to like worry about our armies. Like, if our armies are weak, they can attack into our armies. So We have to be careful. The odds of planting the gems just went out the window. Like, that's no longer an option. Yeah, we need to guard Ganage because there's like some cavalry in that pikeman stack. Hopefully they'll dump some of their attacks into Nineveh. And we could even potentially taking Nineveh would actually help us a lot in terms of positioning, even though the Babylonians would die from that. We're we're passing that. And good thing we irrigated because now we can get this temple. Good. We have all these troops in reserve that should probably come forward. This was impulsive for me. Like, I just instantly declared war on the Sumerians. I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited. I just straight up should have waited. Um, I should have, like, I don't know if they're fighting the Arabs, but if they're fighting the Arabs, I should have, like, let their cav stack, like, wall off the rest of Nineveh, let the cav stack go toward the Arabs, and then maybe consider declaring war on Samaria at that point. But I'm getting everybody on board here. This is it. This is the war. So, like I told you, I had one chance, one war to fight Samaria. Because there's the risk otherwise that the Arabs die or the Celts die, no matter how things go on my front. It's like, how many cities will I take, like, at the cost of my allies here? And typically, letting your allies die is fine in Civ, but this is like a black and white war, right? It's like, allies will 100% be fighting Samaria, so if they're dead, there's no one fighting Samaria for me. So I need to push hard now. Zulu, I call up. You see that? Like, I wasn't paying attention. I called them up. Hey, buddy, how you doing over there? Not so well right now. They got like one little city on that island, Dalan Zadgad, I think, if you remember the Mongol city fiasco. But they have nothing on the mainland, so they can't help with the war. Okay, I'm doing my bit to clean up these calves because they're gonna be. It's not like great to be attacking into these calves, but they're gonna be stronger on offense, right? So yeah, that's like a 5 stack, right? Jesus. They can't reach Sawaga or whatever it is. Sorry, I'm not being like, I'm not doing that thing where it's like, oh, foreign city names are so hard to pronounce. No, it's just literally the worker is obscuring it, so I can't see what it is. You guys know I love to do authentic pronunciations of Kohi Huaycachina or whatever the Incan city names are, but in this case, it's not quite possible because that is like the 30th Iroquois city, and I have not memorized it. Okay, at this point, everything's coming. Take the medieval infantry. Yeah, like, it's very clear I don't have enough units on the front line. I'm bringing what I have. Probably should have brought it out earlier. Yeah. If I get an ROP, so I can bring them a little faster, one turn fast, or one fraction of a turn faster, good enough for me. Aggression production on pikemen. Good to have some defenders, so I'm not defending with all of my offensive units. Okay, I turned on combat emanations so we could see this one turn, because this is going to be an important turn. Can we win? Can we win? We tried. That bombard, though. Nice, okay. There we go. And this is pain. Yeah, so they typically will not attack into full health armies, but that was not a full health army. It was missing 1 or 2 health. And I guess when it's not at 1 or 2 health, when the cavalry is that high in attack and my army unit is that high in defense, they will attack into it, even though it's an army, which they rarely attack into armies, but in this case they will. And that was fucking dicey, but I did hold that other army, but I did just straight up lose an army right there. Really bad for me. I should have maybe attacked more with the armies, because then either they win without much damage, and that's always good, and kill the offensive units from the Iroquois, or what could have happened is they took a lot of damage and then they could just like be under the knights on defense. The better situation we're in now, they fucking have. They've got walls there. I should. Jesus, Suede. Am I really doing this? Am I that desperate? I got 1 HP off him. Am I going to do it or am I going to wait? No, okay. So I decide I'm going to pillage, prevent any reinforcements from entering the city. Kind of limits my ability to continue pushing after I take the city. But I need to guarantee that to be able to get a great library. And I think I need more of my trebuchets down south, it looks like. Because it looks like more units are coming from that direction. We'll see. But like once I take the city, I have the ability to rotate my units much better. But right now I'm kind of locked. I need to like stack up to take the northern city or to take Babylon. But in the meantime, the southern city will not have all the artillery it needs, not have all the boots on the ground it needs. We're getting pretty deep into this playthrough, but because this is like more war focused, there is still a lot to talk about. I'm happy with that. I know a lot of the time it's like I feel the game's fucking over. But you guys need it shown to you basically. So I don't really have much to say because the game is nearing towards its end. But this game is still very competitive. It is anybody's game right now. So I still have a lot to say. Interestingly, I don't have spices right now. I could just take the spices if I planted northwest of Medina. Probably a lot easier to do than trying to get those gems like I did earlier. Wow, even the archer's coming. I'm desperate, you can tell. So yeah, probably easier to do that. But like having the gems does give me positioning to push into Samaria eventually, which is my goal. So that maybe explains that discrepancy there. Okay, that's it. Yeah, end the turn. Of all the fucking times, I've only lost like one or I haven't lost a bunch of units on these flips, and now he's got a sec. How did he get a freaking second full health? The roads are cut. Like you got like a helicopter in there. What the heck is going on, man? Yeah, that went okay. If I only have like I have 4 that can attack. I know I've got 5 that can attack, good ones that can attack, and they all won, thank God. That could have been dangerous. But I got the city. And at this point, I've completely fucked up the game. Because we're going to see... Oh, I guess you guys... Sorry, spoilers. You don't find this out until the turn ends. But let's see the text I get. I'll show you the Great Elevator, because this is a strategy I might talk about a lot. It is especially useful at higher difficulty levels. I don't like to abuse... It's kind of gamey, so I don't like to do it too much when I'm playing, like, Demigod. Although if you're trying to win for your first time in Demigod, definitely a good idea to do this strategy. Basically what happens is you take the Great Library, and then you can get techs beyond education. So we'll skip through this turn, and you'll see that in practice. Okay, here it is. I'm going to end the turn. Get Republic, Theology, Gunpowder, Printing Press, Education. It says it's obsolete, but I'm still getting text, you might notice. Democracy, Economics. Okay. And you can get text from the next era, but the issue was the Arabs did not have any text from the next era. If I call them up, you're going to see that they don't have any text. So what happened was I got all the text up to the medieval era. I didn't get anything beyond that. I guess I was hoping that the Arabs would have had like nationalism or steam power, or even fucking medicine for all I care. Just something that I could use in the next era, but that's not the case. So what that means is, like, you might not realize this, but it's not that The AI actually, techs do not become cheaper for the AI on high difficulty levels. Everything else does. Like they grow faster, they build their libraries and all their other buildings faster, but they don't actually tech faster on Sid. The way Sid changes things is the techs are more expensive for the human player to the corresponding amount. Because you see how like it's 620 ID when we're in the industrial era. You can imagine, and that's with everything being bogged down with all these wars. You can imagine if techs were like, what is it, a 40% cost on Sid? The way that all the buildings are for the AI, you can imagine how fast they'd be flying through the game if that was true. So yeah, the techs are more expensive for me, and I'm in despotism, right? So I could spend 6 turns going to Republic. And then what? Like I can get nationalism or steam power in what, like 30? Am I gonna wait 30 turns here? Again, I started that war. Like the Celts are fighting this war for me. Arabs are fighting this war for me. Babylonians are on death's doorstep right now. And am I gonna just wait 30 turns to like even get steam power or nationalism? I don't have 30 turns to mess around with. It's just not gonna work like that. So I do have some plays I could make to try to get try to get those techs. So there are scientific civs on the map. Weirdly, they have left Germany alive. They have one city on that island that they have not taken. So I could do trades with Germany, and actually Babylon's still alive too. So Babylon will get a free tech, and Germany will get a free tech. But maybe we'll see me doing some diplomacy. Yeah, this is diplomacy. Maybe this is the right diplomacy. I'm just giving him the techs from next year. This is a mistake, because I'm cheapening the value of these techs. So if I try to trade them to Babylon or to the Germans, they're going to be cheaper. Oh, also, I just can't be the one who gives these techs anymore. He got, so the issue, he gets medicine. I don't have enough gold per turn. That's just it. I'm just too broke. And my trade rep's broken, right? I should maybe have given him printing press, because I think if I give him democracy instead, that's a tech that's worth more. Maybe with democracy and all the gold I had, I would have been worked out. I just forgot Babylon existed. I think if I don't know, like for example, it would make the tech cheaper if I tried with Babylon. Like if Babylon got medicine as their free tech, it would make the tech cheaper for me to buy, and then I could like use like trade medicine for yeah, now I'm switching so I can get a better trade deal, right? But I could like maybe get medicine, buy medicine, and then trade medicine for steam power and nationalism. You'll see like the Sumerians had rifling, so they clearly had nationalism, but the Arabs don't. And in the next few turns, all these techs, like I have like some of these techs that the other civs don't, and all that advantage goes away. They just trade all the techs to each other. Like the Germans are going to trade with the Celts because I gave the Celts all those techs, and the Germans or the Celts will get medicine, which is garbage for me anyway, but doesn't do anything for me. My opportunity is ruined. I'm upgrading to cannons now. Getting that city, like it's a hype city. Like it has pyramids, Sun Tzu's, and Great Library. Babylon is an insane city, but I just had to wait. I just had to wait until 2 civs had nationalism, and that's frustrating because that might have taken a while, right? Because Arabs are on like what, 8 cities. Yeah, I even just nationalism. Like if I got nationalism, what that means is I could like give the text to the Babylonians and the Germans, and then I could trade for medicine or trade for steam power. I'd at least have the chance that they would get steam power and trade for it. But there was just no chance of making any trade deal with the economy I had right here. So it's too bad. So yeah, this is how the game progresses. I just fight this war, but the Celts just freaking die. That's all there is to it. I don't think I take any cities. Yeah, you'll see in the bottom right corner of the map, Celts are dying, Arabs start dying, and suddenly the Sumerians have threat onto all of my cities in like the south central area. So I'm forced to sue for peace. And that's what I do. So I make a peace deal, and I toughed it out. Like this game was clear. I didn't realize that the game was screwed, but yeah, I was completely screwed. But I had like one last chance at it. And that one last chance, I'll show you the one last chance. So I did my best for you guys. I was really frustrated with the game, how badly the war had gone. Like, this shit was happening. Like, I made peace, but they're trying to kill the Arabs. But I saved up 3,100 gold so I could do the safest type of espionage. I literally sold a bunch of buildings to do this, and it failed, and they declared war on me. So that's it. You see, I made a few crucial mistakes. Next time I play Sid, I will not make these mistakes. I would be interested in trying this on stream, again, if that's something you'd want to see. I've also been playing Civ 6, if you wanted my takes on Civ 6. Anyway, bunch of stuff in the pipeline. It's a shame, because this was a completely winnable game, and I threw it. I wanted to deliver you guys a one game on Sid with no exploits and no save file, no reloads, which I don't think I've done before. All of my Sid wins have used like at least one reload randomly throughout. But I didn't do that here. And yeah, I had an opportunity to, but wasn't the case. So maybe next time. But, you know, I try to be honest with you guys, and in this case, I did my best, but I don't want to just lie with the game or just like do save scumming. Seems really dishonest to me. I'd rather leave this how it is. Sid is really hard, and I'm very good at this game, but I'm not the best at this game. So if this inspires you to do better and try to be more consistent than me, all the power to you. But yeah, I'd be doing you a disservice if I was like, oh, just showing you this game that I fixed or did like a reload just to make it seem so easy. It's hard, and you will die a lot, you will lose a lot, you will need a lot of reloads, need a lot of restarts. That's what playing on Civ is. So yeah. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Okay, take care, everybody.